Welcome to Arlene Inspires 2022 from beautiful Vail, Colorado. I welcome a new opportunity to start fresh, to make amends, to heal ourselves, and to reflect on our own integrity. I almost started the show with the usual, the tips to be successful in business, a better mindset, to lose weight, etc. But I caught myself. Instead, I am choosing to heal our fragmented parts of self. If you haven't already, I invite you to reflect on those areas of self that we can improve on. A mind at ease improves health and general wealth. See, it's my belief and experience that a mind not at ease it creates disease in all areas of our life. Let's focus on health for just a moment. In order to heal our physical bodies, we must work on our emotional, mental, etheric bodies in order to be able to heal our physical body. Before I share more on this topic, first I want to discuss cancer, an illness that is not going away. I have personally witnessed loved ones dying from this disease. This is why I wanted to cover this topic early this year. I want to introduce you to an amazing human, Terry Askew, who was diagnosed with cancer stages 3 and 4. Her determination to survive and her unique approaches to heal herself were in alignment with my beliefs. We discussed nutrition, toxic mental patterns, relationships, and how not to panic when you receive the diagnosis. Terry, tell our viewers what to do if you get a diagnosis of cancer, any kind.
Well, first thing to do is not panic. You never ever want to panic because then you're making decisions out of fear, and you don't want to make decisions based on fear. You want to research the disease and research it some more. And keep in mind that the information that you're getting is just information. That's all it is. So don't panic.
We're not a number. In other words, don't get so fixated on that result from the lab and you think it's the end.
You never ever want to start thinking it's the end. That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing you can do because negativity breeds negativity and the body hears the mind.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, that's so important. It's so true. Our body listens to us. Every cell that we have, it's communicating.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. When you think good, the good will come. The universe will bring it to you. You send it out and the universe will bring it back. I know it sounds corny and crazy, but it is so true. It is so true.
And then just not giving to fear, right? Because I have had close friends. I've been blessed that has not been my case. But even when it's been so close, you can't, and I'm the most positive human being you will ever meet. You cannot help but to start having those thoughts. So
right. And even though there's no evidence of disease now for me, I was stage 4 at one time and stage 3 in another type of cancer, but stage 4 on the worst type. It went everywhere, liver, spine, hip, all over the place. Breast, my skin, it just erupted and just went ballistic.
So it's possible to have 2 types, 3 and 4.
Yep. Stage 3 was on the left. And that was what was called estrogen, progesterone positive.
Wow.
And HER2 negative. Yes. The other side was triple positive, and that was the super duper aggressive one that went everywhere.
Yeah, wow, this is so important because I had no idea until this interview that is even a possibility to have it simultaneous.
Yeah,
different types.
2 different types. I was pretty toxic though. At the time when I was diagnosed, I said some negative things that I'd gone through some stuff.
Okay.
That. I had some friends. I thought they were my friends. They betrayed me. Worst experience of my life.
Yes. I have heard that holistically and in the metaphysics world that a lot of kept anger is what can cause cancer, because when we have a lot of stored emotions and we just suppress them, that it could be an activator for the cancer cells.
100%. 100%. The anger, the resentment, guilt, hatred. I never knew any hatred before everything that went down. And this was 5 years ago now.
Oh,
And it just, it boiled inside of me and boiled inside of me, the things
right.
that had happened. And, it affected me so terribly that I said things and the universe heard me and said, well, really, here you go. So you kind of get what you send out to the universe. And so what
And
I've done now is change my entire outlook. I wake up and give gratitude. I breathe the air and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything, the
yes,
weirdest things.
our bodies keep score, and even so when you're going through it,
Right.
and I want to ask you what made you shift, that you put two and two together, that it were your thoughts, your emotions that was affecting it in order to get better. Because that's really big, because most
It's
people don't think that, especially when you're into that fear mode of having a disease.
right.
Most people don't get there. It takes them a while. How was that process for you?
Well, right. It hasn't been easy, but therapy, mental and emotional therapy, a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Um, and videos, inspirational videos. There are countless ways that we can bring our mind to peace if we really concentrate on doing so. But you've got to do the work. You can't just sit back and let it happen and hope it happens for
Yeah.
you.
Right.
You've got to go in and do the work. You've got to say to yourself, today is a good day, no matter what. It's a good day. We're
Yeah.
going to have a good day, no matter what happens. Take something good out of that day. And you remember it when you go to bed at night. You remember what good came out of that day and you're grateful. You just
God,
express.
God bless you for that vulnerability. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for saying, yeah, I had this toxicity in me. I had
Oh,
these
yeah.
thoughts. I had these emotions.
Yeah.
And you went straight to it to talk about
Hmm.
this is what it takes to get it work. So, an improved mindset, working on your emotional bodies,
Yes.
mental and emotional body.
Hmm.
And how about nutrition? Would you say that that's a big?
Huge. Nutrition is really big. See, I used to eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
So there's a program, Crispy Cancer is a program here,
Okay.
well, everywhere. He's international, but it's what I did. When I say here, I'm meaning at my own little world.
Yeah.
Um, his videos are super duper inspirational. The diet, everything about it is healthy. There's nothing negative about what he theorizes, and that is essentially that cancer is fed by your thought patterns, your environment, your diet, anything in around you. That's, you need to surround yourself with positive, not just your mindset, but everything around you. You've got to exclude the negative from your life, so to speak.
Right.
If you've got toxic people, you make amends and make peace with it, but you move on for your own self.
Terry, here's my next question. I went through losing a friend to cancer. And while we were doing research as a family and friends that got together, we watched a lot of documentaries and we learned that chemo is not the solution for every type of cancer, if any. Um, and I will never forget that. Unfortunately, we lost her. But since that moment, I can't look at chemo the same again. I know of all these other options like vitamin C IVs, and
Mhm.
there's so much out there that I want you to share your experience about chemo.
Sure. Well, in my heart, I felt that chemo was not for me, right? So I don't need it right now. Obviously, I haven't done it. And I was stage 4 and stage 3, different types, no evidence of disease now. Thank God. And I became, NED is what they call it, no evidence of disease, within about 6 months after it was everywhere. It was all over. So for me, chemo was a no-no, and I found a team to support me in that decision. So that's key. That's really, really important. But yeah, chemo, I mean, it's not cancer treatment is more or less seen now as a chronic disease like diabetes or any other chronic disease, and not kill
That's
it with
amazing.
chemo, and because chemo destroys the body, it destroys everything. And so
Yeah.
if you look at cancer as simply a sign, a symptom of your body telling you you need to change, you need to do something, it's your body signaling, hey, something's going on here and you need to address it, or it's going to get worse. And throwing something toxic at it is not the solution. For some it is, but
Yeah.
there are blood tests and DNA tests that you can do on the actual tumor and for your own body, how you produce your own genes and what genes are turned off or on and how to turn them on and off. You can do those types of tests to determine if chemo will be working for you for that type of cancer.
That's really good that you point out, because for people that are getting the news in the early stages of doing all of the research, that's so important for them to
Right,
know ahead of time. So,
right.
in the midst of the wanting to know the answers,
Hmm.
what research to do, what to look for, are there any
Right.
other treatments that or research that you recommend?
Absolutely. So when I was first diagnosed, I had surgery, partial mastectomies, and at that time it was stage 3 on both sides. But because the surgery disturbed it, it went crazy, in my opinion.
Okay.
Other people argue, some doctors say yes, some doctors say no. But in my opinion, the surgery made it go crazy and it went everywhere, literally went everywhere, liver, spine, hip, all over. And so I, at the time, didn't know about the other type of cancer, the triple positive. I only knew
Mm-hmm.
about the other type. And so I used an approach called pathway blocking, metabolic pathway blocking, which basically shuts off the food supply for that type of cancer. And that's a concept and theories derived by in a book called How to Starve Cancer by Jane McClelland.
Okay.
It's amazing. And she's cured herself from 2 different types of cancer, stage 4. And then I think it was lymphoma was the other one. I'm not quite sure on that, but ovarian, I believe, is the first. Anyway, so her approach was to use off-label drugs and natural supplements to stop the growth pathways and the way that cancer feeds to survive, to stop it. So I used that for the one type of cancer. And the other type, I elected, because it was growing so fast and was everywhere, I elected to do immunotherapy. It's basically anti-HER2 therapy, which basically turns off the HER2 positive proteins that the cancer, I overproduced that protein. And because I stopped it in its tracks, boom, problem
Where
solved.
do you gain your strength to do all of this research? And because you said it earlier, it's been a tough journey, right? And
Right.
in
Yeah.
working on your mindset and your
Hmm.
nutrition and your emotions that are connected to your body. Where did you find that strength? What will you say to someone that is waiting for a diagnosis for lab results, and they're in
Okay.
that place?
That scanxiety is the worst. Waiting on lab results, it literally scanxiety. That's what it's called. And I'll be going through that again here in a couple weeks, and that's okay because that's just information that you need to better heal. So if
Yeah.
you, that's probably the best thing that anybody's ever said to me, is those test results are just information that you need. So don't stress it so much.
Got it.
So I get my strength from knowing that I'm the only one that I can count on, really. I mean, I've got friends, but nobody's going to take care of me but me. I've got I've got an oncologist that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if I'm the only one that I need to count on, truly count on to survive, I'm not going to fail myself, right?
Right. I
And
call it being your own advocate for your body. Regardless of what all the white coats are saying, listen to your body, listen to your intuition, and work with that. Thank you, Terry. Speaking of listening to your intuition, I want to go back to discuss healing the fragmented parts of self that sometimes drive us into a victim mentality. I invite everyone to remove our masks, to look inward, and stop saying, we're fine. Let's ask ourselves the tough questions. Find out what we're truly scared of. What are our triggers? And resolve them. Being able to do this, it helps us figure out who we are, what we want, and live in our aligned purpose. Let's take responsibility for the things we're sourcing into our lives by asking ourselves if we're living our lives with integrity. If there is trauma, like in my case, Find a professional that can help you. One of the things I have learned about trauma is that you cannot heal trauma alone. Also, trauma doesn't have to be this huge event. Please don't compare your traumatic experience to others. Another thing I have learned and would like to share with you, it's super important to find your tribe of like-minded individuals that are willing to do similar work and will support your journey. I recently did some intensive inner work and realized I was deflecting and was hiding from an elusive fear I thought I had overcome. Therefore, I'm going to take some time to work on myself instead of wearing a mask, telling the world I'm fine, and resenting myself because I would be overworking myself, splitting my energy, and showing the universe I'm okay with split energy. The universe will respond by sending me more circumstances that split my energy. And that is not what I want. Therefore, I put my ego aside and I will take some time to do more work, as healing is never linear and it never ends. I will come back stronger than ever. I hope that me sharing my vulnerability speaks to you and I'm able to inspire you to remove your mask and heal you. Until next time, all in divine timing. To a great 2022 and beyond.